So let's start with the first set. 6 friends from India, Abhinav, Abhinay, Abhijit, Abhigya and Abhyuday visited the Banana Republic. Each carried a different amount in INR with them and exchanged their currency at the Banana Republic Currency Exchange Center. The denominations received by the 6 friends are shown in the following chart. So here is a chart in front of you which shows you the denominations received in dollars. Now, many of you have a doubt with these denominations. What exactly does that mean? It's basically the amount written on a currency. For example, if I have a 500 rupee note, the denomination is 500. If I have a 100 rupee note, the denomination is 100. So that way, other denominations are there. So Abhishek received denominations of 2, Abhinav received 3, Abhinay received 7, and that way for Abhijit, Abhigya and Abhyuday also, we can see that through the chart. After that, there is more information on this, that all 6 friends exchange their currency in exactly one denomination. The amounts in dollars received by them after the exchange are given. On returning their exchange, their balance amount back again at the Banana Republic. So it's kind of they had some money in INR. They exchanged it into dollars at the Banana Republic Currency Exchange Center. And while coming back after spending some amount, so whatever leftover amount was there, they again exchanged it back to INR and then they came back. After which some information is given to you, as you see on this page. Along with that, there is more information on the next page as well, as you can see on the screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that graph and this information on this one single page, where I've made a table and I would be writing that what was the amount with them, what denomination they had, how many dollars did they get, then how much did they spend, what are they left with, and what is the final resultant amount after exchanging it back to INR. That all I'll be writing on one single page now, and I'll be talking about that. So because I need a lot of information on that one page, so probably I have to remove my video for that for a few moments. So I might not be visible to you, but yes, I'll be discussing about things, and these are the questions. Let us start discussing it here. So I put up this chart, as you can see on the screen. This chart tells us about the denominations that they had. So let me just write all of them over here. So Abhishek had a denomination of $2, Abhinav had in $3, Abhinay had $7, Abhijit had $11, Abhigya had $13, and Abhyuday had $17. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 7, this is 11, 13 and 17. On the basis of these, I have written all these values, the denominations received by them. I hope this is clear to you. I'll just remove the graph now. It's no longer useful for me. These are the other things now that I have to look at. Let me see if I can erase all of them. Just give me a moment. Yes, I can erase them. Okay. So let's go back to pen. Okay. Now, all 6 friends exchange their currency in exactly one denomination. The amount in dollars received by them after the exchange, they are given to us over here. They all exchange their currency in exactly one denomination. It's kind of that I got money in terms of only one denomination. So if I have money in terms of, let's say, 200 rupees only, can I say my total amount will be a multiple of 200? If I got all the money in notes of 100, my total amount would be a multiple of 100. If I got all the money in multiples of, denominations of 20, so my total money would be a multiple of 20. Here, the amounts are given, the denominations are there. I can get an idea that which amount can go to which person. For example, 98 is 7 into 7 into 2. It's a multiple of 7 as well as 2. So this amount can be there with Abhishek or Abhinay, because these are the two numbers which are a multiple of 7 or 2. Similarly, if I look at 171, 171 is 19 into 9. That is 19 into 3 into 3. Now can I say 19 into 3 into 3 cannot be a multiple of any of these denominations except that of 3. So this $171 should be the amount with Abhinav. I'm sure you have understood my point here. This is the only number which can divide 171 out of all of these 2, 3, 7, 11, 13 and 17. So I know that now 171 is surely with Abhinav. I hope you all understood my point. Similarly, if I look at 738, it's a multiple of 7. So it is 7 into 34. But it's a multiple of 7 It's also a multiple of 2. It is also a multiple of 17. So currently I can't say anything about it. Let's talk about 286. 286 is 11 into 26. It's a multiple of 11 as well as 13 as well as 2. Once again, I cannot say anything about it. Let's talk about 363. It is 3 into 11 into 11. It's a multiple of 3 as well as 11. And a multiple of 3, it cannot be because that is already with Abhinav, right? Abhinav cannot spend $363. So who can spend, sorry, who can exchange $363? It can only be a multiple of 11, that is Abhijit. So Abhijit must have had $363 with him. This also is used here. Then I move ahead to 429. Let's talk about 429. So when I look at 429, whose multiple is this? So this is 3 into, this is 3 into 143, that is 11 into 13. It's a multiple of 3, 11 and 13. But a multiple of 3 is already with Abhinav. A multiple of 11 is already with Abhijit. So can I say it has to be a multiple of 13 only? So Abhigya must be having this amount of 429, right? Because Abhinav cannot have, can't take this amount. Abhijit can't take these amount because the multiples of 3 and 11 have already gone. So the only multiple it can be of is 13. And once that is also there, this is also gone. Now, if I look at this 286, 286 was a multiple of 11, 13 and 2. It cannot be a multiple of 11 now because Abhijit has already occupied that. It cannot be a multiple of 13 because Abhigya has occupied that. So Abhishek must be having this 286. That means 98 must be there with Abhinay only, and therefore 238 can be with Abhyodaya only. So that ways I get to know which person has got how much amount in dollars. I'm sure you understood this point. Now, how many notes they would have got? Of two denominations, there are $286. That means there would be 143 notes. Of denomination 3, there are $171. That means the total number of notes would be how much? 171 divided by 3. If 171 is divided by 3, how much do I get here? So 171 divided by 3 is equal to 57. Similarly, here I have 98 divided by 7, that is 14. 363 by 11, that is 33. 429 by 13, which is again 33. And 238 by 17, it is again 14. So these are the number of notes with these people that we have now. That's after they have exchanged this amount into dollars. What next? On returning, they exchange their balance amount back again at the Banana Republic Currency Exchange. A few observations were also made. Let's look at the following observations now. The total number of notes all 6 friends spent during the stay at the Banana Republic and the exchange to balance amount was 145, which I have already mentioned here in the table already. Okay, that total they have spent 145 notes or denominations, you can say. I'm sorry, notes, not denominations. The friend who received the second highest number of notes when his money was converted to dollars, who is that friend who got second highest number of notes? If you look at all of these numbers, the second highest number of notes were received by Abhinav. He got 57 notes, which is second highest. He finally had 50 notes at the time of leaving Banana Republic. So he had 50 notes left while leaving. That means he spent 7 notes. He spent 7 notes. This friend also spent the least number of notes. So this 7 is the least number of notes. I have just put it here. This 7 is the least number of notes. So I have used these first two informations. I'll move on to the next set of informations, which is here. For that, I'll have to erase. I'm sorry, I just went ahead. So for this, I just have to erase whatever is written over here. Let me just erase it. Okay, let's move ahead now. The next point, the one who had the maximum number of notes after the conversion, that person is Abhishek. He had 143 notes after conversion from INR to dollar, spent 12,000 rupees. If this person has spent 12,000 rupees, how many dollars he has spent, that I do not know. Now there is a very important information which is given at the end of this all. The dollar to INR exchange rate was 60 per dollar when they left and when they returned to India. So ultimately, whenever INR was converted to dollars, or whenever dollars were converted to INR, it was always equal to 60 rupees per dollar. So if he had spent 12,000 rupees, that means I can say he has spent $200. It is dollars oblique INR. So $200 oblique 12,000 rupees. If he has spent $2,000 and he had dollars in denominations of 2, can I say he had spent 100 notes? 100 notes of $2 each, that will make 200 as the number of dollars spent. That means the INR spent is equal to 12,000. If out of 143 he has spent 100 notes, that means he is left with 43 notes of $2 each. Exactly in a similar way, I can calculate his balance amount as well. If 43 notes are left, 43 notes amounts to $86 because one note is of $2, and $86 are equal to how many rupees? Just multiplied by 60. So 6 6 are 36 and 6 8 are 48 plus 3 5160 rupees is the amount he is left with. Can we do exactly the same thing for Abhinav? Yes, let's do that. He has spent 7 notes. Each note is of a denomination 3. So he has spent $21. That means 1260 rupees. Each dollar is of 60 rupees. He is left with 50 notes. Each note is of $3. So he is left with $150. And $150 means 9,000 rupees because each dollar is of 60 rupees. So this is the information that we have got till now. What next? Come at this point 4. The friend who had least amount after the conversion from INR to dollars, who had the least amount after converting from INR to dollars, can I say that person is Abhinay? He had just $98, which is the least amount. This friend, after the conversion, finally only had 1260 rupees with him while returning. So balance amount with him was 1260 rupees. 1260 divided by 60 is $21, right? $21 means he was left with 3 notes of $7 each. He was left with $3 of $7 each. That means he spent $4 out of a total. I'm sorry, let me just erase it once again. He is left with, he has spent $11, right? I'm sorry. I repeat, 1260 rupees is the amount he was left with, which is equivalent to $21. He had dollars of 7 denominations. That means the notes that he has spent, he is left with is 3. He had 14 notes. He is left with 3. That means he has spent 11 notes. So once again, I can say that he has spent $77, and those $77 will amount to how many rupees? So 6 sevens are 42 plus 4. 4620 rupees is the amount spent by Abhinay. Come to this point number 5 now. The average number of notes spent by the friends who received denominations of 11 and 17, that means these two guys, the average number of notes spent by these two guys was the same as the average number of notes spent by the friends who received denominations of 3 and 7, that means these two. So average number of these two is equal to the average number of these two, or you can say when there are only two people on both sides, total number of notes spent by them is 18. So total number of notes spent by these two guys should also be 18. These two people have spent $18. These two have spent $18. Sorry, notes. 18 plus 18, 36. This guy has spent 100 notes, 136. The remaining 145 minus 136, that is 9 notes, are spent by Abhigya. 9 notes are spent by Abhigya, which means he is left with 24 notes. If he is left with 24 notes, that means he is left with 24 into 13. 24 into 13, 13 fours are 52, 5, 13 twos are 26 plus 5, $312 in amounts, that is 18,720 in INR. Also, he has spent 9 notes. Each note is of 13 denomination. That means he has spent $117. So how much is that equal to in terms of rupees? 6 sevens are 42, 4, 66 plus 4, that is 7020 rupees that he has spent. So now what about Abhijit and Abhyodaya? They have spent a total of 18 notes. This guy has spent the least number of notes. So sum of two numbers is 18, right? And both of them should be greater than 7. Can I say they can be 8 and 10 or 9 and 9? Right? If both of them should be greater than 7, sum is 18, either they are 8 and 10 or they are 9 and 9. But it was noted that number of dollars spent was different. So they cannot be 9 and 9, they can only be 8 or 10. So one of them is 8, the other one is 10. That we currently do not know which one is 8, which one is 10. But I can also say if he had 33 notes, he had spent 8, he's left with 25. If he had spent 10, he's left with 23. If he had 14 notes and he had spent 10, that means he's left with 4. If he had spent 8, he's left with 6. And that way these amounts can also be written for them. So that is all the information now that we have about these people, which I have already written in a table. Let's have a look at the questions now. Here is the first question. What was the amount spent by Abhinav in dollars? So Abhinav has spent how much amount? In dollars, he has spent $21. So my answer for the first question is $21. For how many friends can you determine the exact amount spent by them? So can I say, I can exactly say that this is the amount spent by Abhishek, amount spent by, I'm sorry, this is the amount spent by Abhishek, this is Abhinav, this is Abhinay, this is Abhigya. About these two people, I can't say anything. So my answer is 4 friends are there about which I can surely say what is the exact amount spent by them. What was the difference between amount spent by Abhinay and Abhigya? So amount spent by Abhinay and Abhigya, what is the difference between them? So Abhinay has spent how much amount? He has spent 4620 and Abhigya has spent 7020. Question is saying in INR only. So therefore 7020 minus 4620, it is 2400. So my answer for this question is 2400. Here we have question number 4. What was the highest amount left after the trip was over among the 6 friends? The highest amount left after the trip was over. But I don't know what is the amount left for Abhijit and Abhyodaya. If I talk about Abhijit, let us say the highest number of amounts left with him is 25. In that case, the amount left with him is 25 into 11, that is $275. The highest with Abhyodaya can be 6. So 17 into 6, it can be $102. In any case, the highest amount left is with Abhigya only, which is $312. But question is asking in INR, that is 18,720. So my answer for this question is 18720. And lastly, if Abhyodaya spent more notes than Abhinav, but less than one who received notes of the denomination of 13, then what is the amount spent by Abhijit? Let's talk about this as well. Abhyodaya has spent more notes than Abhinav. Abhinav has spent 7, so he should spend more than 7. That is already more than 7. I mean, whether he takes 8 or 10, both are more. But less than the one who received notes of denominations of 13, that means less than Abhigya. If it has to be less than Abhigya, that means it has to be 8. If it is 8, of course, it has to be 10. What is the question asking you? What is the amount spent by Abhijit? Abhijit has spent $10 in this case. $10 means how much? $10 is of 11 denomination each, which means $110 are spent by him. In rupees, that would be 110 into 60, that is 6600. So my answer for this question is option A, that is 6600. And that was the last question for this set.